story time. Who's ready for stories? Two friends watching all of a sudden. Perfect. I was worried it wasn't working for a second. Okay, let's see. Okay, we should start to see some friends now. Hi, everybody. I'm just getting everything set up like usual. So all of you get comfy with your blankets. And what else do you have? Popcorn? Stuffies? Hi, KJ. Wow, you're fast today. Hi, Finley. You guys are super fast. I only just got the comments up right now. Hi, Gabe and Henry. I know it looks a little silly as I'm moving all around, but I've got one computer, two computers, and two phones that I'm talking to when I'm doing these story times. It's bananas. Okay, let's get Instagram ready. Hello, Instagram friends. Ready for stories? 1 minute late for our Instagram friends. Hi, Julian and Malia. You guys were ready. It was like you were waiting. Oh, is that Aura here? Hi, everybody on Instagram who's just joining in. Okay. If I haven't said hi to you on Facebook, make sure you say hi in the comments, just because sometimes I can't see who joins, and I want to be able to say hi to everybody. All right, I've got our 4 awesome stories picked out for today. Let's see if you can find some kind of theme in what I'm going to read about today. Hi, Phoenix and Charlotte. Phoenix, do you have your giraffes with you? Big giraffe and little giraffe? I have some stories from some pretty awesome authors today. And the first one, hi, Carolyn. The first one I'm going to start with is actually written by our friend Carolyn, who just joined in on Facebook. And it's called Tapping for Sap. Now, if you know me, this is like my favorite Carolyn Morris book, Tapping for Sap. I love this one so much. And I've been thinking about this book. Hi, Aura! I've been thinking about this book because I have some friends who have a maple syrup farm called the Hubbards, and they make the most delicious maple syrup, and this storybook reminds me of all of those Hubbards and their delicious maple syrup. It's so good. So let's start by reading Tapping for Sap. I wonder if any of you know how to tap for sap, if you've ever done that before. Look at Chick and Duckling. Chick and Duckling went out one day, riding to the sugar bush, the old-fashioned way. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. And look on this page, Chick and Duckling are even over there. Can you see them in the picture? They're right in the back of the sleigh. Try and find Chick and Duckling again in the picture. The bush is filled with maple trees. thawing out from the winter freeze. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. There they are. Can you see all the buckets on the trees? All of those buckets are going to collect sap. Oh my goodness. The spile is hammered just above the knee through the bark of the maple tree. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. Look at that. All they use is a hammer, just to hammer it right in. The shiny metal bucket is hung from the spile, and then we wait for just a wee while. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. The bright sun warms the rough gray trunk, and we hear the first plink, plunk. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. And look, there's some little drips right there. And maple sap is pretty a little thicker when it drips out. When you tap different trees like birch trees, sometimes the sap is thinner and drips out faster. Maple sap, you need to be patient. The fresh sap flows from the roots underground, and as the pail fills, you cannot hear a sound. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. Can you see them working in the back? And look at Chicken Duckling just watching. There's lots of work that goes into making maple syrup. The sap is poured into the big kettle. See those kettles? The roaring fire heats the metal. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. Wow, they have a cool setup to make this maple syrup. The water evaporates from the sap. A thick, sticky syrup is no mishap. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. And if you look at this picture here, they are making maple taffy. So yummy. Write in the comments if you've ever had maple taffy before. That's when you get a big pile of packed snow. Sometimes they have a special tray. Sometimes you just squish it into a container or something. And you pour hot syrup on top of the snow, and then you can take a popsicle stick and roll it up, and it tastes so yummy and sweet. Let me know if you've ever tried that. When I was a little girl, they used to take us to the maple syrup farm, and we did that when we were in like kindergarten. It was fun. Now this page has a little bit of math. Ready? The sap to syrup ratio is 40:1. An agricultural fact is just for fun. Or just for fun. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. So that means you have to have 40 jars of that sap coming out of the tree to make 1 container of maple syrup. That's crazy. Julian and Malia have had maple candy. Oh, look at this. Let's go, Chicken Duckling. Time for a sweet, syrupy brunch with the Rail Fence Bunch. Tap, tap, sap, sap, drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. Is that all syrup? Whoa. Tap, tap, sap, sap, Drip, drip, sip, sip. Mmm. How cool! And that book was written by Carolyn Morris, and all the pictures were drawn by this really cool guy, Richard McNaughton. Oh my goodness, I don't know where I came up with Robert. Richard McNaughton. He's a great artist. That's my favorite Carolyn J. Morris book. I mean, read all of them, but I really like this one because it's still kind of in the winter. And sometimes people, oh, Instagram went away. And sometimes people tap for sap in March. And March is when my birthday is. So extra cool. Okay, I'm just bringing back Instagram. Let's see. Instagram friends, I'm not sure what happened. It just all of a sudden closed by itself. It was very strange. Let's hope they come back. Did you guys like that first story? I have next an older story. Sorry, Julian and Malia, I don't know why Instagram just closed all by itself. It just had one of those weird app problems where it closes all by itself. This next one is something that I think a lot of you might still be wearing outside. And maybe you're having a problem with these at your house. KJ, your birthday is tomorrow! Oh my goodness, happy birthday in advance! So cool! Tell us how old you're gonna be, KJ. Maybe you're having this problem too then, KJ. This story is called Big Sara's Little Boots. I don't know about you friends, but the weather has been changing and my two boys are having trouble with all of their shoes. All of their shoes are getting too small for their big feet. And right now we can't really go to a store and try on shoes, right? So they're having to kind of squeeze into smaller shoes. I wonder if this is happening to any of you guys. Let's read what Big Sara does about her little boots. Here we go. Sara loved her boots. They were as shiny as a wet rain slicker and as yellow as a bathtub duck. When Sara jumped into puddles, her boots went squish and the water went kersplat. One day, Sara tried to put on her boots. She pulled them and she tugged them. She scrunched her toes into tight little balls. She pushed her heels with all her might. But Sara's boots did not fit Sara's feet. Uh-oh. Is this happening to any of you? Because this is definitely happening at my house. She took off her socks, but even in bare feet, Sara's feet did not fit into Sara's boots. Oh no, cried Sara. My boots have shrunk. Look at Sara. Oh no. Did her boots shrink, do you think? Sara tried to make her boots bigger. She stretched the bottoms and she stretched the tops. She stretched until she could stretch no more. But nothing happened. Then she called her little brother Matthew, and they tied one end of the boots to Matthew's horse and the other end to Sara's bike. They pulled until the ropes got tight, but nothing happened. Look Look how hard they're riding their bikes. There's the boot. And Matthew. Sara gave the boots to the dog. He growled and tugged, and she growled and tugged. But nothing happened. I don't know what would happen, what's going to happen to these boots, but they're getting pretty worn out with all this tugging. Sara tried to blow up her boots like a balloon. She took a big breath and puffed her cheeks and blew, but nothing happened. Then she filled her boots with a truckload of rocks. The boots got really heavy, but they didn't get bigger. Sara is trying everything. She's trying to problem solve really, really well. But her ideas aren't quite working. Sara planted her boots in the garden where the sun was warm and bright. She watered them and she waited, but the boots did not grow. Sara was very sad. Her boots did not fit her feet, and her feet did not fit her boots. But Sara loved her boots. Oh, Sara. It's okay. Julian and Malia, I'm glad that your shoes were ordered and delivered. That's great. You guys are lucky. Does anybody else have a favorite pair of shoes or boots? Maybe they have Spider-Man, or maybe they're sparkly ballet flats, or maybe they've got leopard print on them or racing stripes, and they would make you really sad if you grew out of them. Man, it's hard when stuff like that happens. Mom, said Sara, my boots have shrunk. I wonder, said Sarah's mother, maybe you grew. No, said Sara, my boots just shrunk. Well, let's see, said Mother. And Mother measured Sara. Your boots didn't shrink, Sara. You grew all over, said her mother. You need to get new boots. But I don't want new boots, said Sara. Sara must have gotten a lot bigger. Some of you friends should measure yourselves after playing outside all of these weeks and weeks and days and having so much free time. I bet a lot of you grew like this much. Sara and her mother went to the store anyway. There were lots of boots. Rainbow boots, red boots, purple boots, plaid boots, buckled boots, and zippered boots. The salesman showed Sara yellow boots with a fire engine red stripe around the toes and a fire engine red stripe around the tops. How do you think Sara feels about those ones? I don't know. She's tried on a lot of boots though. Lots. Those are lovely, said the salesman. I don't want new boots, said Sara. They bought the shiny yellow boots with the fire engine red stripes. Does Sara look happy about her boots? I don't think so. The next time it rained, Sara put on her new boots. They weren't as shiny or as yellow as her old boots. When Sara jumped in the puddles, the water went splash, but that was all. After a while, Sara's mother asked if Matthew could wear the old boots. Matthew looked so excited that Sara said. All right. And when Matthew put on the old boots, he said, these are so shiny. They are as yellow as my bathtub duck. Wow, look how happy Matthew is about those new boots. When Matthew jumped into a puddle, the boots went squish and the water went kersplat. I hope they don't shrink, said Matthew. Don't be silly, said Sara. Boots don't shrink. Your feet just grow. And look, there's Matthew splashing with the puppy. Matthew and Sara went splashing in the puddles. Suddenly, it didn't matter that Sara's new boots went splash and the old ones went squish. Sara had grown so big that she could jump over the puddles, and when Sara jumped, the yellow boots with the red stripes went whoosh. Her new boots make a new sound. And I think she's happy now. It was a very big sound for a very big girl, and Sara was very happy. And now there's Sara's boots, Matthew's boots, and Mom's boots. The end. I like that book. Have any of you read that book before? It's a pretty old one. Wow. That book is a 1987 book. Can you believe it? KJ is going to be 4 years old tomorrow, guys. That is JK. That means KJ will go to JK in September. Ooh. I choked on my coffee, sorry. KJ goes to JK is almost a tongue twister. Oh man. Alrighty. Another fun story. From a fun series that we've been reading through over our at-home time. At-home story time. Today, we're going to read Click, Clack, Peep. Look at that tiny thing. I wonder what kind of bird that is. Do you think it's a chick or a duck? Click, clack, peep. Look it. The ducks are getting a present. Maybe it's new shoes. Click, clack, peep. Farmer Brown stuck his head out the window. The farm was too quiet. Everyone was watching the egg. I wonder if we have any farmers watching who have watched eggs hatch at their houses. No, not a moo, not a click, not an oink, not a clack, not a ba, not a cluck, not a thing. And then, crack. What's happening? Inside the barn, everyone gathered closer. Moo, crack, ba, crack, oink, crack, cluck, crack. There's lots of cracks now. Moo! Crack! Bah! Crack! Oink! Crack! And look! It's a baby duck! Oh, how cute and fuzzy! Baby duck laughed. Beep, 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 beep. And laughed again. Baby duck waddled. Beep, 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 beep. And waddled again. Baby duck played. Beep, 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 beep. And played again. The animals all yawned. Beep, 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 beep. And yawned again. Uh-oh. That baby duck is keeping everyone awake. The chickens sang a lullaby. Good idea, chickens. But baby duck would not sleep. Beep, beep, beep. The cows lowered the shades, but baby duck would not sleep. Peep, peep, peep. The sheep knitted a blanket, but baby duck would not sleep. Peep, peep, peep. This baby duck is crazy. The chickens went outside to get some sleep, and the cows went outside to get some sleep, and the sheep went outside to get some sleep, and the mice went outside to get some sleep. Nobody can sleep in the barn with that baby duck. Duck took off his headphones. Beep, beep, beep. He's sneaking up and he's putting the headphones on Farmer Brown. Uh-oh, what's he doing? Tricky duck. He put baby duck in a bucket. Beep, beep, beep. And he covered her with a blanket. Beep, beep, beep. Then he carried her outside. Beep, beep, beep. That duckling looks super happy. He climbed into the tractor. Beep, beep, beep. He buckled up the seat belts. Beep, beep, beep. It's always good to be safe. And he backed out of the barnyard. Beep, beep, beep. That's the sound of the tractor. Beep, beep, beep. Do you think he is supposed to be driving the tractor? I don't know. Duck drove back and forth. Peep, peep, peep. Back and forth. Peep, peep, peep. Back and forth. Peep, peep, peep. Till baby duck fell asleep. He's finally sleeping. Farmer Brown opened his eyes after a good night's sleep. There wasn't a moo, not a cluck, not a click, not a clack. Not even a peep. Uh-oh. Look at what Duck did! He drove through all the voices, and Farmer Brown couldn't hear with the headphones on. Oh no. But there's Duck and the duckling asleep. And that's the end of that story. So silly. Sometimes babies need to go for a drive to go to sleep. When nothing else will help them go to bed, sometimes they just need to go for a drive or a rock or a walk. Alrighty. Our very last book of the night. And this one is another special one because it's another Carolyn J. Morris book. But I don't know if any of you have seen this book before, because this one is brand new and there's even someone different in this book. It's not about Chicken Duckling. In this book, it is about a girl named Paisley. And this story is called Paisley's Pumpkin. Oh my goodness. Has anyone read this book before? Whoa. It's a really fun one. Here. I want to make sure you can see the pictures. There's Paisley. Can you see her? She's got her hat on to protect her from the sun, and a ponytail and rubber boots. She's ready for some work. I think there's even a barn swallow up there. Paisley loves to do her barnyard chores every day. In the springtime, it's especially fun to hear the news sounds. Today, it's a bird swooping in the open barn door, holding strands of straw in its beak. Paisley rushes in just as the bird is darting around the beams. Suddenly, the bird flies out again. Paisley follows, but is not fast enough. Zoe and Paris, this is a new one for you. I feel like you might have heard almost all of the other ones, guys. Look, there's Paisley again. I wonder what she's doing. Paisley grabs her pail of potato skins and skips off to the compost. She dumps the peelings and sprinkles a shovelful of soil to cover them. Wow, she has a nice compost heap in her backyard. I wonder if any of your families have been building something like this over the time that you've been home. Or maybe garden boxes? The next time Paisley dumps her pail of vegetable peels, something is different. A little green sprout is poking through the compost pile. Her fingers gently touch the two soft, smooth leaves. Look at that tiny sprout. It's so little. Where did it come from? Hurry, Mummy, shouts Paisley. There's something in the compost. I wonder, says Paisley's mother. I wonder if it could be a pumpkin sprout. No, says Paisley. I don't see a pumpkin. I wonder what happened to the pumpkins after Halloween, Paisley. Paisley remembers the wheelbarrow filled with pumpkins that her mother threw on the heap. A seed must have rooted. That happens sometimes. There's that little sprout. Sometimes that happens where seeds, maybe some of you have the trees like at my house where the helicopter seeds fall down from the trees, and sometimes if they fall in your garden, they start growing a little tree in your garden. And that must have been what happened when they put the old pumpkins in the compost heap. Some seeds started to grow real plants out of the old pumpkins. Every day that week, Paisley visits the compost heap and spots a new pumpkin sprout. More seeds must have rooted from the old pumpkins. Now she has more than one pumpkin sprout. They're everywhere. As days turn into weeks, Paisley sees more green leaves and funny little curlicues growing on each plant. As she waters the soil, Paisley learns to step carefully around each plant. The water seeps down into the roots below. Look at all those plants she's taking care of. And it must be getting warmer because now she's got shorts on. Her rubber boots and shorts. That's the right way to garden, right guys? Hurry, Mommy, calls Paisley. Come and see the pretty yellow flower. I wonder, says Paisley's mother. I wonder if there will be a tiny little pumpkin. No, says Paisley. I don't see a pumpkin. Ooh, I spy a ladybug. Within a few days, she sees little green pumpkins growing where the blossoms were. I have a pumpkin patch. I have a pumpkin patch. I have a pumpkin patch, sings Paisley. Can you see those green pumpkins? Did you all know pumpkins are green first before they turn orange? They only turn orange when they're ripe. Well, if they're orange pumpkins. On hot days, Paisley skips to the barnyard, hearing new sounds of summer. The chirping babies call to their mother, and Mama Bird swoops in with a worm for their lunch. Their little beaks reach up. Mama Bird doesn't go far when Paisley is close by. Do you see those baby birds? There's even a spider. As the summer comes to an end, Paisley waters the soil and the pumpkins grow bigger and bigger. We found the magic page. Paisley's friends ride the school bus home with her to see the pumpkin patch. The kids count the pumpkins and jump in the puddles, and they climb on fences and feed the ducks. Hey, I see two little friends in this picture. Do you recognize those two guys? It's Chicken Duckling in there. Oh my goodness. Paisley watches the pumpkins change from green to orange, but something is different today. One pumpkin is much bigger than the rest. It's so big that Paisley can't even wrap her arms around it. That pumpkin is huge. Hurry, Mommy, calls Paisley. One pumpkin is way bigger than the rest. I wonder, says Paisley's mother, I wonder how big it will grow. That one is huge. Soon after, Paisley's mother and father follow her to the pumpkin patch. I've never seen such a gigantic pumpkin, says her father. Let's enter your pumpkin in the fair, says Mother. We're going to the fair, we're going to the fair, sings Paisley. That's a big pumpkin to go in the fair. I wonder what will happen. Waiting for fair day is a hard thing to do. Paisley tells her teacher that the pumpkin is so big that she can't even carry it. Well, how will you get your pumpkin to the fair? Asks her teacher. Easy. My mom and dad can do anything. Finally, it is fair day. Paisley's mom drives the tractor to the fair with the big pumpkin in the front end loader. The judges measure and weigh the vegetable entries. People gather around to see Paisley's pumpkin. Look how giant it is. Her mom had to drive the tractor all the way to the fair. Everyone cheers when the first prize ribbon is placed on Paisley's pumpkin. Wow, look how much bigger her pumpkin is. And do you see the red ribbon with the number 1? There it is. She's so excited. And that's the end. And there's Carolyn and Richard again in the back. That was a cool new story, wasn't it? How fun. I'm different than Chicken Duckling, but I really liked it. I liked that story. What was your favorite story tonight, guys? Let me know while I get our activity questions all ready. What was the best story we read today? Let's see. We read Tapping for Sap, Big Sarah's Little Boots, Click Clack Peep, and Paisley's Pumpkin. Okay, I'll check in a minute once people's answers start coming in. But my books today were kind of about people that live on farms. How cool is that? Now, I know Big Sarah didn't really live on a farm, but she wore rubber boots and she had a really cool garden. And those are two very important things about living on a farm, is you have to have rubber boots and you probably have a garden or you're growing food if you live on a farm. So, what I wanted us to talk about today was, what have the farmers that live around us, what have they been helping us with lately? And what kind of food do farmers grow? And what kind of food do animals help us get and make for us to eat? So I made a little printable worksheet, which you can print out if you want to, or maybe you could just look at the worksheet on one of your parents' phones or tablets or computers, and you could draw your answers on another piece of paper. But it's just a little chart, and underneath each animal you can draw what kind of food each thing makes for you, what the farmer does. So this one is wheat up here. I don't know if you know what foods come from wheat, and we've got chicken, and we have maple trees and fruit trees. We've got a sheep and a pig and a cow, and I thought that would be fun for us to talk about and draw about what food comes from the farm and farm animals. I don't know if you guys know a lot about that, but you can do that, and that would be really fun. I don't know if my computer's not showing which books you guys liked tonight, but I will check back later and see if I got any comments. Oh, that's the same one from Zoe and Paris from before. Anyways, guys, that was our last story, and that is our activity for today, and I will see you guys on Monday at 7 o'clock for our next story time. Can you believe it? We have done so many of these story times at home, and there's still lots of fun, and I still have lots of cool books that I want to read to you guys. So come back on Monday at 7 o'clock, and don't forget to put on your pajamas and brush your teeth before you go to bed. I will see all of you guys next week. Bye. Good night.